brainiacs, buckle up because it's about to get funky. I'm Hugo, buzzed and ready. Get in the zone. It's Honey Badger time. No guts, no glory. Let's pounce on today's mind blower. Ready to dive into the weird and wild? Here's a brain teaser for you. Which faraway islands have penguins, wild winds, and a big grown-up debate about who's the boss? Whoa! Mystery mode on. Speaking of wild stuff, check this out. We're zooming to the Falkland Islands. Some folks also say Islas Malvinas. They're in the South Atlantic Ocean, kinda near southern Patagonia. Let's roar and explore. Basic facts, time. The Falkland Islands are a British overseas territory. That means people there run most of their own day-to-day stuff, like schools and roads, while the United Kingdom helps with defense and foreign affairs. They have a governor who represents the king, and a locally elected legislative assembly with no political parties. Just independent members. Perfectly practical, right? A geography snack. There are two big islands, East Falkland and West Falkland, plus hundreds and hundreds of smaller ones, around 776 little buddies. The edges are super squiggly with bays and inlets. Windy, cool weather, peaty soils, and open moorlands. Trees are kinda shy there. The tallest mountain is Mount Usborne, about 705 meters, and Lafonia down south on East Falkland is flat like a pancake. Okay, switching rivers. Wildlife roll call. Penguins waddle in like tiny tuxedo tanks and albatrosses swoop with mega wings. Lots of seabirds love the outer islands, especially on islands without rats or cats. People work hard on conservation, caring for habitats and stopping invasive critters that gobble eggs. Stay curious, little one. This is bananas and beautiful. History sprint. Long ago, different sailors may have seen these islands in the 1500s, but it's fuzzy. The first certain landing we know of was in 1690 by John Strong. He sailed through a channel and named it Falkland Sound. Then in 1764, a French explorer, Louis-Antoine de Bougainville, set up a settlement and called the islands Îles Malouines. Spain took over in 1766 and renamed it Puerto Soledad. Meanwhile, in 1765, the British set up Port Egmont. Talk about crowded seas, dude. Okay, now here's where it gets extra spicy. Lots of pushing and pulling happened between Spain and Britain. Britain left a plaque in 1774 but kept the claim, and Spain left in 1811. Others tried settling later, like Louis Vernet with help from Buenos Aires, and there were clashes with visiting ships. In 1833, Britain reasserted rule. Argentina said that wasn't fair, while the United Kingdom said it was continuing an earlier claim. And that disagreement has lasted ever since. Pause for a moment. History sure has sharp claws. Fast forward, the islands grew with sheep farming and even had a wrecking trade, buying and selling shipwrecks and cargo from stormy sea mishaps. But when steamships and the Panama Canal opened in 1914, that business faded. Still, the island stayed busy and tough as a honey badger, for real. Now, the very tough part, in 1982, there was a short but serious war when Argentina invaded the islands. The United Kingdom sent forces and retook them. After that, the UK set up a bigger military base called RAF Mount Pleasant to help keep the peace and improve travel links. People spent many years clearing landmines, and by 2020, the last minefields had been cleared so beaches were safe again. Whew! About the big disagreement, Argentina and the UK still do not agree on who should be sovereign. Some places use both names, Falkland Islands and Islas Malvinas. The United Nations urges peaceful talks. The people who live there are British citizens. And in a 2013 vote, 99.8% chose to stay a British overseas territory. A huge number, like a penguin parade of yeses. Economy check, they use the British pound and earn a lot from their ocean zone, called an exclusive economic zone. Fishing is king, especially squid. Tourism is big too, with folks visiting for wildlife and history tours. Fine wool from sheep keeps the cozy vibes going. Oil exploration has been tried, but it's tricky with costs, ocean rules, and the sovereignty argument. So it's a careful balance, right? Speaking of surprise, even with a small population, per person income can look super high because the economy is strong in fishing and there aren't many people. But it can go up and down with prices and the weather. Nature can be a moody teammate, dude. Culture corner. English is the main language, but people also come from places like St. Helena, Chile, and the Philippines. So you hear other languages too. The islands even have a motto, desire the right. I like that. Sounds like a honey badger on a mission for snacks and fairness. There's also a local tune called the Song of the Falklands that folks sing at big events. Hakuna Matata, but like cooler. Time travel tiny bit more. Explorers matter. Remember John Strong in 1690 and Bougainville in 1764? They left names behind. Even the word Malvinas comes from the French name for people from Saint-Malo. Language is like driftwood. It floats and lands in new places. Get a load of this, folks. Mind blower. A recent study found signs that people from Patagonia may have visited long before Europeans, maybe Fijian travelers. Campfires and clues in peat tell tiny whispers from the past. That is perfectly perplexing and totally cool. Oh, would I visit? Dude, yes. Cool winds, big skies, penguin paparazzi, and hikes over rolling hills. It's a sure thing. Bring a warm hat and your curious brain. I would pack honey, a map, and maybe a tiny tux so I fit in with the penguins. We're on a roll. And now hold on to your fur, because this next bit is bonkers, even though the discovery history is argued over by Spain, the Netherlands, Britain, and others. What we know for sure is that the islands today have their own elected leaders, their own police, and a community that loves their rugged home. From wrecked ships to wool to squid, they have sailed through change like champs. Okay, switching rivers, next up is a doozy. Think glaciers, seals, and even more penguins. Hint, it's another British territory in the South Atlantic with a long icy name. Stay tuned for South Georgia and the South Sandwich Islands. Brace yourselves for a crazy ride. Whoa, that was a wild ride. Exploring the Falklands was a sure thing. Give yourself a tail wagging high five. Keep your tails wagging, stay curious, and remember, desire the right. Till next time, stay wild and wonderful.